Hi everyone. Today I will tell you how to drain water from a washing machine that has broken down. The first method is to call a technician. The second method is to do it yourself. If you have hands, you can try to do something with them, and if you have the desire, our machine is Samsung model VF0508NZW, and here is the problem. It was working and washing, but at the last moment, when it needed to spin, it stopped working. It started beeping and shows error 5E. This indicates that the drain pump is not working. Let's try to repair it. But first, we need to drain the water. I will repair the pump in the next video. In this video, I will explain how to drain water from this Samsung washing machine model VF0508NZW without spilling it on the floor, and your machine shows this indication on the control panel, which is located at the front of the machine. The machine is locked securely. The lock icon, which is a small padlock symbol, is lit up brightly, so we won't be able to open it yet. So let's start draining the water. The first and foremost thing you absolutely need to do is completely disconnect the machine from the electrical power supply, because if water gets into places where it shouldn't, it could either cause a short circuit or interfere with something. And after disconnecting the power, the safety lock will open in 5 minutes, and we will be able to drain the water through the hatch. There are 5 methods in total to drain the washing machine in an emergency situation. The first method is directly through the hatch. The second method is to use the drain hose, which should be lowered below the level of the machine. The third method is to use the drain hose, which should be lowered below the level of the machine through the drain filter. The fourth method is through the small tube located near the filter for emergency draining in case of an emergency. And the fifth method is draining from the drum, which is located at the back. But now we will consider 2 methods. We will begin by using the method of draining water through the rear drain hose. This process involves carefully positioning the hose to ensure proper drainage. After completing this step, we will then proceed to the next phase of our procedure. Now you need to carefully twist the machine spirally out of the corner where it was standing. Carefully shut off the main water supply system. There is a valve installed here for this purpose. The design can vary greatly, allowing for any style or pattern, and it is essential to disconnect the sewerage system properly. This is the hose specifically used for the sewerage system. This device is equipped with a standard electrical outlet, as well as a specialized locking elbow connector for added security and stability, which is necessary to prevent water from spontaneously draining from the machine's system. For draining the non-draining tank, a large container will be needed. To proceed, carefully unclip the following connectors from the back of the device. Handle each connector gently to avoid any damage. The next connector is located right here. Take your time to ensure each step is completed correctly and all connectors are safely removed. To complete this task, you will need a crosshead screwdriver, which is specifically designed to fit the cross-shaped slots of the screws. This tool is essential to unscrew the fastener, a device that securely holds 2 or more objects together. Make sure to use the correct size to avoid damaging the screw. To begin, use a crosshead screwdriver to carefully unscrew the screws. Make sure to turn the screwdriver counterclockwise until the screws are completely removed. And after that, at this point in time, we can gradually and carefully lower the plank slowly into the container. Try to gently, carefully and slowly drain. And now the water started flowing. If the water doesn't start running immediately, you can clean this part from dirt and create a small vacuum with your mouth, making sure to thoroughly spit out the dirty water that will flow. If necessary, ensure to repeat the process. Because the water didn't flow immediately, most likely due to an airlock, the reason being that an airlock was present in the system. The only downside is that using this method, the water might not drain completely, and you will also have to finally drain it from the emergency drain tube, which is located near the filter for water drainage.
it is clear. Dirty water is running and the hose hasn't been cleaned long. The pressure is actually small, but it's quite enough for a quality drain. In fact, it's sufficiently effective. Using a flat screwdriver or knife, pry off the decorative cover at the top, which conceals the filter and the emergency drain tube located right there. Right there. Here is the tube. It is the main one in their model. In our case, this might help. Now, take any container that you might have on hand, make sure it is low and wide, and then try to carefully drain the water. First, carefully open the plug to ensure that it is properly secured in place. Once you have confirmed that the plug is secure, you can proceed to start the draining process. Make sure to monitor the draining to ensure everything is functioning correctly. While the water is draining, you can see that the drum has already opened, the lock has engaged, and the water is slowly and steadily going away. If these methods don't work, you can place a container underneath and slightly unscrew the filter cover to let the water out. However, this is very inconvenient because water might spill under the machine. After the main amount of water has drained, it is necessary to secure the drain hose at the back, protected from its attachment, which will sit at an angle to prevent any excess water from draining. And finally, carefully pour the water using the drain hose located at the bottom. You can also create a small movement with the device or tool you're using. However, you will notice that nothing is flowing through the system. This is most likely because it is clogged, and you may need to check for any blockages or obstructions that are preventing the flow. The decorative cover, which is designed to be both functional and aesthetically pleasing, can be easily removed by pulling it downward. This feature makes it significantly more convenient to drain the liquid, ensuring that the process is both efficient and user-friendly. To dry the drum, you can also slightly lift the machine by holding it firmly with both hands, ensuring you have a good grip to avoid any accidents. Once you have a secure hold, carefully and slowly lower the machine onto a container that is appropriately sized to catch any remaining water. Make sure the container is stable and positioned correctly to prevent any spills. There you go. The drum is already dry and ready for the next use. This method ensures that all excess water is efficiently drained, leaving the drum completely dry and preventing any potential water damage or mold growth. So, we made sure to follow all the steps correctly and did everything as instructed, ensuring that every detail was taken care of properly.
Now, after draining the water, you can proceed with repairing or replacing the pump. I still don't know what happened there. You watched a video on how to drain water in emergency mode from a Samsung washing machine. VF0508NZW. This applies to many washing machines. Basically, they are the same. So this can be useful for everyone and everywhere if you have any issues with your machine. If you don't want to call a technician or it's late at night,